Satoru Gojo will beat Sukuna. I know a lot of you think the other way around because he was able to get the body of Megumi, but I'm here to tell you I don't even believe that's the case. Not only did Satoru Gojo promise that he won't leave anybody alone again, but he has survived the impossible, come against the impossible, and beat the impossible. If by himself one-on-one, he'll be able to defeat the one and only Sukuna. Well, Usu. My name is Jujutsu. If you haven't already, make sure you leave a like on the video. You know guys, I always appreciate when you guys do that. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. And yeah, let me explain and get into why Satoru Gojo will beat Sukuna. So a lot of people will say Sukuna will win due to the fact that he had Megumi's body. Now I just wanted to ask you a quick question. Do you believe Sukuna will win with 20 fingers and without Megumi's body? If you said yes to that, then that is what makes me know that you are not really seeing the full picture. Satoru Gojo is someone that has the infinity, and we know that guy is one of the most strongest around. Sukuna felt like he needed to get stronger even more than he was already, just to make sure that he could beat anyone. I mean, a person that is bored, being able to come back into the future like this to see clearly he would like to face one of the strongest to ever exist, and I believe that's the promise that was made to Kenjaku. If you look at the text within the chapter of 221, you can see Sukuna had a conversation with somebody and was told that he's going to be alone and find out love. Anyone else that was watching my Eurozu video, I actually explained that love was going to be from Satoru Gojo. Play it right here. Oh, I'm gonna laugh at you because this love thing you're talking about that you said I've never experienced is not true. It's probably BS. Was he just taking the mic? Or was he trying to say that he has found something worth fighting, which is Gojo's Satoru? So as you can tell, Satoru Gojo is the person that he's going to love because he's going to give him a battle that he'd been waiting for all these years. Sukuna has been unrivaled for too long, but that is exactly why I believe that he's going to lose. He's finally going to come to the conclusion of his life, and that conclusion would be losing to the strongest. Recently, I've heard a lot of people say, hey, GXL, isn't Gojo the person that lost to a 10 shadow user? Well, that is true in terms of someone in the Gojo family with the Limitless and 6 Eyes losing to someone in the Gojo family, but you also have to remember we did not know how strong they were at the time. I don't believe personally that the 6 Eyes user and the Limitless user was able to use the infinity, and even if they were, I know they weren't the strongest. The strongest was Satoru Gojo, and I think I may have proof. Let me cook. So Kenjaku and Sukuna have a binding vow. The binding vow is that Sukuna must do whatever Kenjaku says at a certain point before he fights, and the fact that Sukuna listened must imply that it was a binding vow on top. Now look at it for what it is. How would Sukuna and Kenjaku even create a binding vow, especially if they haven't even seen each other all this time? I mean, maybe in the Cullen games, but it seems like it was something from even prior to that. And that on the line must be to become a cursed object with a vessel that he can find so that he's able to fight the strongest person in the modern day sorcery. So why exactly am I saying that, oh, Gojo is the strongest person? What's my proof, right? Sukuna coming at this time is not a coincidence. This is when Gojo became at the age of 27, and Kenjaku probably knew about him all this time, especially since the incident where Gojo had to kill Geto. Finding out that Gojo's the strongest, I mean pretty much anyone that was a sorcerer would know Gojo's the strongest, according to Hakari of course. And Kenjaku told Kashimo that in all his years, the strongest person, and it doesn't even come close, that he's ever been in contact with or spoken to was Sukuna. It was not anyone that has the 6 Eyes or Limitless or anyone in the Zenin family, it was Sukuna. So with that being the case, Sukuna is known to be the strongest in his head. Then moving forward, you see that Kenjaku complains about how broken Gojo is all the time, and we get a little liner from Sukuna that pretty much says you are meant to be alone, and the person that you're meant to love, and from what implicity means, it is Satoru Gojo because it's the person that is going to rival him. In all of Kenjaku's life, he's not met one person that could rival him until that day. And if they made the binding vow, that means the binding vow was Sukuna will be able to fight the strongest person or someone that Kenjaku believes is stronger than him or could rival him, and in exchange to be able to do what Kenjaku wants. So narratively speaking, that pretty much explains why Gojo would be the strongest Limitless and Six Eyes user. Because if Kenjaku wanted to, he could have brought out Sukuna at any given time to be able to fight with somebody like that. But there was nobody like that. Not to mention, Kenjaku also wants to complete his side. And you're probably asking, what exactly is his side? That is to be able to combine Tengen with all the humans in the Culling game or outside of the Culling game, just to create one big monster or being that would be so unfathomable and creating havoc everywhere. And that is the part I fear. Giving Kenjaku almost a month to prepare is somebody that I would even want to go up against. This guy's able to make 1,000-year plans, so what is stopping him from making plans that is going to be in a month away? Especially with the fact that he has Tengen in his sights. So even though that's the case, how is the Culling Games going to end? Is Gojo just going to stay in the Culling Games unable to fight? Or is he going to wait a month with the gang and make sure that they're protected at all costs? I am not completely sure. We still need to see Kashimo actually fight against Sukuna, which is going to happen, so that means that there's going to be a little bit of a build up, but Kashimo will be impatient and try and fight him. Also, we would have to see how we're going to fight off against Kenjaku, and some people are going to be obviously trying to take down the Tengen monster figurine that he would be able to create. Now, to circle it back all the way to what the main objective of this video is, and this is to convince you that number 1, Gojo is the strongest with the 6 eyes and limitless, and then number 2, that he'll be able to defeat Sukuna. Sukuna is a person that would need to require all his fingers, especially if he was to touch Satoru Gojo. And with the mixture of his body being elsewhere and also having Megami's body, I'm not completely sure if he wants to go to his original body or stay in Megami's body to be able to fight Gojo. It's a very strange one, I'm not gonna lie. At the same time, it seems like Gojo has his eyes on Megami to be able to tell him about his father, and that way would be by making Sukuna immobile and probably him going to another body, if that's what his plan is. Now, let's just remember that this battle is about defense versus offense. Although Gojo has a lot of defense, his offense cannot touch Sukuna. And when I say that, I mean in terms of Sukuna's abilities and variety of abilities is actually second to none. He has the ability to use the different techniques that he has inside that special box, Malevolent Shrine, the ability to use Megami's 10 Shadows. He has a lot of offensive techniques, but what Sukuna doesn't have is the Infinity, the ability to not be touched under any regulation or circumstance, and that I think is the key difference. If he is able to do that without the help of anybody else, Sukuna will struggle. There will be no way around Infinity and there will be a long problem. The only option he has may be Domain Amplification, but Domain Amplification against somebody who is fighting by himself and not attacking other people, yeah, Sukuna, good luck to you, my friend. And even though it's simple and it seems like he has less options and abilities and techniques, Infinity is pretty much very busted to the point where he doesn't need that much things. And I think a lot of you don't realize that. You don't need a lot of techniques and abilities to be able to defeat somebody, because the Infinity alone, although it's one thing, is pretty overpowered. And as the man that got released himself admitted and said, although Sukuna may get all his power, and even if it might be a little bit tough, I will win the fight. Anyway, this fight is meant to set out on the 24th of December within the manga, and I can't lie, I'll be lying if I said I cannot wait till that time. It is definitely like a month and a bit away, so Sukuna has a lot of time to learn the 10 Shadows, and Gojo has a lot of time to adapt to what he needs to be able to fight, as he has a lot of things to do. There also seems to be some things that he needs to take care of, and I think one of them is by making Yuji overpowered, especially since Sukuna left. This is going to be very interesting, this is going to be something I'm looking forward to, and this is something I can't wait to unfold. Yeah, you haven't already, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as I say to the people that come and visit my channel, Jana.